Guys, welcome back to the Embrace Life Boldly. I am your life coach, Tammy Ward. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm not sure if you're catching this on YouTube or if you're catching this from my newsletter or if maybe possibly you might be hearing it on my podcast for a bit. But today I want to, one, silence my phone because there you go. I want to talk to you guys about a technique that I have utilized to be able to move past memories. Those ones that it's like what we call the core memories, right? The core memories that maybe gave you a conditioned belief or a belief about yourself or maybe a possible identity notch about yourself. And so these type of it's called the revising technique, and for the life of me I can't remember who actually created this, but I'm sure some psychologist out there created it. But I utilize this to be able to change the emotion and create my own experience from a core memory that has, maybe caused me to, okay, let me blow it out this way. Do you know how like sometimes you'll be depressed or in a funk or maybe upset about something, and that memory of what happened to you in the past, maybe it was yesterday, 10 years ago, or however it was, just automatically comes up and you're like, oh my gosh, I because of that, I am this way. And for me, this memory that I'm going to give you guys an example for is a lot to do with my body dysmorphia. So I've had body dysmorphia. I have been easing my way out of body dysmorphia now for quite some time. And one of the core memories that I have is a time when I was trying at my sister's house, older sister's house, and I was trying on clothes that they no longer could wear. And my stepmother at the time wanted me to come out and show my sisters and my stepsisters like how the clothes look on me, whether I should keep it or not, or all that. It's just one of those things when you're a kid and you're trying on clothes and you got to come out and show everybody how the clothes look on you. And at the time, that was really embarrassing for me. Like I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to like go and parade in front of everybody because I was already receiving verbal and verbal and emotional abuse about my body already. And so I was just like, oh God, I don't want to do this. I do not want to go out there. But as a kid, you do because that's what you're told to do, right? You like come out there. If not, it would have been like a whole other issue. But as I came out, from in this memory as I came out, I can recall times, not specific words, but I can recall the looks, the faces, the emotions, the energy that was towards me about what I looked like, saying like, "Oh my God, I can't believe those really don't fit," or "Oh my God, that's getting a little big in that area." Things that were like telling me about how my body looked in that moment. There was no praise. There was no, "Oh, that looks great on you," or maybe if you drop 10 pounds you can put that on, because the kid, I'm growing, right? I think I was like anywhere between maybe 9 or 10. And so that's a moment in my life where that core memory was embedded about how my body looks and how I look in front of others. And so because of that core moment, I shamed myself a lot in my life throughout my whole just growing up. I shamed myself for wearing clothes, how they looked, da 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 da. I was so paranoid. I was so struck by the emotions that I felt of that. Oh, your body is like horrible, right? And so that was the core memory that was built. And as I began to work on my body dysmorphia and how I see myself in the mirror, I began to go back to those core memories. So the revised technique is basically going into a meditative state, right? Making sure you're centered, you're grounded, you're in a safe space, you're feeling free, you're feeling open to explore. And so you go back to that memory. So what I did is I went back to that memory and I imagined myself putting on these clothes. And I imagined myself that no matter what, I know I am going to look good because I feel good, because I'm confident in everything that I wear. No matter if it's tight, loose, whatever. I love myself. I love my body. And so I was going back to that memory. I came out into the floor, and as I was coming out into like the living room that it was in, I was just doing struts. I was doing little dances. I began to walk the catwalk. I was feeling good within myself. So I revised that memory into feeling good and feeling loved and feeling proud of my body and just being goofy and silly and playful to everyone else in the room. So that way I wouldn't feel or sense or see their negativity about what I look like in the original memory. And so that's what it's like. It's like going back to those core moments, those core memories that you have, or maybe it's just a memory that you just have that just always you find yourself remembering or always find yourself going back to. So you go back to those and you just kind of switch. You revise it to where you feel good, you feel loved, and you are the only one giving yourself love. Like you are the one that is looking at yourself like, oh my gosh, you're amazing and you are beautiful and you are fantastic. And so once I did that, and I think maybe I probably had to do that maybe once or twice, but then after that, though that memory doesn't even come up anymore like that. The original memory, that the core memory that was established does not affect me anymore. Because what I remember is what I revised. So anytime I think about that moment, I have a knowing about what really happened, but I revised the memory and utilized that technique so that way I continue to feel good about myself. Like that memory it's not even a core memory anymore. It's like off in the wastelands because I no longer need it. I no longer allow it to come in and fill me. And that's the greatest thing about memories. As if you got my newsletter, the Embrace Life Boldly newsletter, every month, then if you don't have it or if you want it, go to coach-tammy.com. The very first page is going to have you sign up, and it's a monthly newsletter. It's just I talk about things like this, things in a ways of like how to help all of us be able to shift and move. As a transformation and spiritual development coach, you're going to get all kinds of things in between that in my newsletter. So sign up if you don't have it. But in that newsletter, if you have looked at it or if you are signed up for it, you're going to see that I talk about how every time we go back to a memory, say if we had a memory at 6 years old and we go back to it 5, 10, 100,000 times, it doesn't matter. Every time you go back to that memory, you change the memory. You shift it already to where like even the memory of you have of it now at the age you are now today, that memory may not even be as it originally was, because as we grow, we put more emphasis into them. We may put more shame into them, more blame into them, more matter of fact into them than what it really was. We might like add somebody else saying something, or we might add us saying something. You shift all kinds of that, and that's just how the brain works. It's like the scientists have just figured this out, right? By the study of the brain. But the revised technique, I would love for you to try it for yourself. Go back to a core memory, or just think of a memory that you had. Maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's a rough time in school, or maybe a challenging moment as you were growing up, and just go back and revise it a little bit to where you are allowing love in, you're allowing your own confidence in, and you're allowing yourself to be able to feel the way you want to feel now in the present state. To move out of anything that was negatively conditioned to you. So that is the revised technique. Thanks for watching. I hope you like this. If you like this video, click like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stick around for more. And until next time, keep loving, keep growing, and keep embracing life boldly.